What is going on, good people? Week 8 predictions and preview for the NFL. It's the Baltimore Colts Show, the return of the Baltimore Colts Show. We actually put a name to it for once in our lives. We typically don't put a name to things. We just kind of randomly talk about things and then make up the name later. But this time, we put a name to it. DJ here right now speaking to you real quick. And we got Casey, Justin, Adam, maybe some other people coming on as well. Don't know. Anybody who found the link and you just decided you wanted to come on, you come on in. You come on in. You might surprise me. Cash in like the Money in the Bank or something. But I'll be prepared. Okay?
I mean, I could post it on Facebook if you want.
Yeah, we'll take all comers. Okay, we'll take all comers. But the Baltimore Colts Show Week 8 preview coming at you. It's a Ravens Steelers week. I'm excited. The Colts are off a bye week, which is nice. The Browns are without Odell. That's unfortunate. And the Chiefs, we ain't gonna talk too much about them. Okay, we're gonna keep them out of the discussion today. Justin's not even here. No, I'm kidding. Justin's here. But so he'll talk a little bit about them. Other than that, we'll just skip. But nonetheless, if you want to listen to us, if you're watching us, you can see it right on your screen right now. You can watch us on Facebook, watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on various other platforms as well. But we'll be right back. We'll let you guys, give us a like, give us a share, whatever you got to do. Tell your friends about us. Go get your popcorn real quick. If anybody eats popcorn anymore, go grab your drink, your soda, your water, your beer if you're a beer drinker, whatever you drink. It's really up to you. But we'll be right back, and we'll talk a lot about week 9 and week 8, and we'll talk about week 9 next week. Week 8 this week, and then we'll see you guys in just a little bit with our week 8 preview.
Let's get it.
Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic.
And your
Are the Jets?
And we want to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid.
They're fat. I love it. They can literally hear all.
We'll see you.
That's why I kept it in here because
on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
Bang bang.
And with that, week 8 preview coming right here, right at you, right here, right now. It's week 8. I'm excited. It's Ravens Steelers week for me personally. One of my 2 favorite weeks of the year. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. The bye week was long, far longer than it needed to be. Felt way longer than a week. And I'm glad to be back. Casey, how was your bye week? I took a couple naps. Some of the games were. No, there actually were some pretty good games last week, but some of the games were a little bit, just not my cup of tea. The Steelers freaking won again. Are you kidding me? Darn it, Titans. But other than that. That was the only thing that I was really upset about. There were some good games though, for the most part. I enjoyed a lot of those games. Of course, Ravens Steelers week is plenty good for me. But how you guys feel? Casey, let's start with Casey first. How you feeling after the bye week? You feeling okay? Did you get a nap in? Did you work a lot? I mean, what'd you do? Because it was a struggle for me.
First of all, a little bit of a sidebar. We don't usually talk about this much. Is it me or did the World Series go by real quick? I feel like it just started and what? Anyway.
Because nobody cared.
Yeah, nobody cares about the World Series this year.
Same. If anything, I wanted Tampa to win, but whatever. It's fine. I don't care about the Dodgers, whatever. But I still watch the games because I actually had another Sunday off. Of course, a bye week, couldn't work on them. Anyway, there were some really good games actually. The Falcons blew a lead again, because they do that. It wasn't as big of a lead, but they still blew a lead. Listen, the Raiderade. It's nullified when Tampa Tom is in this. That's what happened. So we're not going to talk about that. There wasn't really any like games that like really stuck out to me. I don't know. It just kind of, I don't know. There was nothing. I mean, except for the Washington football team is the real deal. I think we can establish that right about now. They dominated the Cowboys. Like it's almost like Dak wasn't playing or something. But I'm sorry, Cowboys fans.
Terrible. You just terrible. You terrible.
Oh, season, baby. I'm done.
Somebody get their mans.
Real quick, real quick for me, the bye week. I mean, it was okay. In all seriousness, it was okay. I was trying to just waiting until the next week. I guess that was my biggest thing. Cause like they shouldn't put a bye week and then put Ravens Steelers the next week. Cause then I'm just like Ravens Steelers for 2 straight weeks. Like, stop it.
But isn't it nice though to actually have your bye at the original scheduled time and not have to have the premeditated or the habitual one right in the middle of the season because one of your opponents were a bunch of dumbasses and had to postpone? Titans.
That
Bills,
is nice.
I mean,
That was
not really Bills' fault, but just saying, but
specifically the Titans.
there was a
Adam.
few teams. Right, but there was a few teams that had to take their bye early because of their opponent's foolishness. But I do see what you mean.
But I mean, you know, the bye week was okay. I mean, I don't like bye weeks personally. Like, bye weeks are so boring for me. I feel like I have nothing to cheer for, and then the Titans just blew. I mean, I have nothing to cheer for, and it's just really sad. Because I'm like, do I cheer for the Browns? Maybe this week, possibly. Do I cheer for the Bengals? Well, I was obviously cheering for the Bengals because y'all are too close to the top of the AFC North right now. But that was a good game though. I enjoyed the Bengals. I'm sure you had like a couple mini heart attacks with that. I mean, it was back and forth and back.
I mean, before we get to that, real quick, can we just real quick, just because I think we all need to get this out of our system. Can we talk about the play of the week?
Was it Josh Norman getting stiff arm from 2 weeks ago or what?
Are we talking about the Invisible Man taking down Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
I was with 2 things from this weekend. That solidified everything I said about Danny Dimes and Drew Lock. Drew Lock sucks. Drew Lock sucks.
Was it really Drew Lock's fault though that they returned the kickoff, and that's how they got the momentum? And it wasn't Daddy's fault. He just got big feet. Okay, my man's got big feet.
That's 2020 in a nutshell.
Yeah, but he didn't even trip over his feet. He tripped over nothing.
He tripped over the grass. It was the grass. The grass got him.
Justin knows.
See, the Arizona grass was there.
I'm walking on sunshine.
They have a little bit of Arizona grass. That's what happened.
He shock mastered himself.
It was retribution.
I do want to I want to get into the NFC East because that division just gets more and more complicated as the weeks go by. I feel like it gets so complicated as the weeks go by. But speaking of the bye week and things that happened during the bye week, and well, technically today, the Ravens signed Dez Bryant, and I'm really hoping that he is people are like, he's not going to be the Dez Bryant of old, and I'm like, I don't need the Dez Bryant of old. All I need, right? All I need is for you to go up for the football and catch it. That's it. Like, that's what I want. I want Anquan Bolden-esque play from Dez Bryant. That's it. You ain't even got to run past nobody. Just go up and make the physical catches. That's all I ask.
I'm more steamed about the Ngakoue signing than anything because we were looking at him hard in the offseason. And I'd heard that Minnesota was shopping him, and then I heard that they signed them both, and I just wanted to crawl in a corner and cry. I'm like, not to jump ahead. Well, per per you're like, we're looking at week 10s. I mean, week 8's picks. It's like per that, like, you can almost chalk up Baltimore whipping our ass the next time we play you guys.
The Yannick Ngakoue, signing, I was excited about too. I was excited about both of them. I was definitely excited about Dez because I've watched this offense, and it's not like they're bad. They're just like this close to breaking out. Like they're literally this close. Like a couple of missed throws, a couple of dropped balls, not getting certain players in, not creating a feature back, not giving somebody feature carries away from the offense breaking out. And like people forget, the Ravens did break records last year, so they're gonna take somewhat of a step back because you don't have a record-breaking season and then overcome the record-breaking season. So, but yeah, I was definitely excited. I know Adam wasn't too happy about either of the signings, but I was very excited. Hopefully Yannick could get sack Baker a couple times in a couple of weeks too. That'd be great. I'll be happy with that. Real quick, Adam, while we're on that subject of Baker and no Odell, and I guess everybody can chime in on this. What do you think is going to happen? Because there's something about Baker not having Odell that I think comforts him a little bit. And that sounds weird, but when he first came into the league his rookie year, that was some of his best play was without the stud receiver in Odell. Even last week when Odell went out, not that the team gets better per se without Odell, but I think it takes a lot off of him mentally to be like, where's Odell? Odell, 13, where you at? 13. Like it takes a lot off of him to not have to feel like he's got to feed Odell every play.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I've been thinking of that conversation in my head and hearing a few people, talk about that, whether it be like a Dan Orlovsky, fans in general. It is okay to have both those sentiments. Now, I believe a caliber of Odell. If your team, you think your team is better without a guy like that, that's nonsense. Now, maybe it helps Baker per se because now he doesn't have that internal drive. Like, I need to get him his touches. Like the first pass of the game where his injury happened. I don't know because the announcers, we had the terrible announce team like we had in the Colts game. I hate that crew, but it's mainly the color commentator that's worse. That Adam, I can't even think of his name. But anyway, he was saying like a poorly thrown ball. I said no. He was anticipating Odell curling back into the play. That's how I interpret it. But look, the production that we all hoped and thought was going to happen was not there. Now, last year, that was all coaching, and he was playing hurt. The dude still hasn't had 1,000 yards. I think people need to realize that. But and not having him as the focal point, his internal like I gotta get him. It's like, yes, it does alleviate. The only thing that sucks now is that lessens the pressure on opposing D coordinators. That now they don't feel the other guys as a threat, which I find foolish after what Donovan Peoples-Jones did at the end of that game, but that's besides the point. I don't necessarily believe that he's better without him, but I could schematically and maybe a blessing in disguise, type thing. But 22 straight consecutive passes. To say that it's just the Bengals only goes so far. Because guess what? That doesn't happen each week. You saw why Cleveland picked him number 1 is because of that right there. That last drive, especially, 1:06, no timeouts. You went 75 yards. And everybody that was calling for Case Keenum, that first play where he plants to the right and flicks it to Donovan for a first down. That's a sack if that's Case Keenum. With the pass he threw down the seam to Higgins and he goes up for the ball, that doesn't happen with Case Keenum. And then that final play. That doesn't happen. So now the reason why people defend Baker so much, myself included, is that what he did in 2018, which you saw that on Sunday, that he implemented the hope that we have been waiting for 20 years, because we have not seen that. We've had two okay seasons. 02 when they went to the playoffs, 07 where they should have went to the playoffs, and Hoyer, that was a tease. But
Well, and to Adam,
nonetheless,
it's more consistent than it's ever been. Like, and I think people forget that. Like, I'm coming from, of course, a Ravens fan's perspective, and when I come from that perspective, everybody's like, "Why? Why do you trust Joe Flacco so much? Why do you love Joe Flacco so much? Why are you such a Joe Flacco fan?" Because there's something about having a consistent piece at quarterback every single Sunday. There's something about when you're down in a game and you need a play, and as much criticism as Joe got, I know who's running on the field, and I know when Joe tore his ACL a couple of years ago, I knew when he wasn't on the field that the offense completely changed. I remember Kyle Bowler, right? I understand how hard that was. I completely understand where you're coming from because, like, hey, this guy is. I mean, I love Baker. I think Baker is one of those guys that I'm truly impressed by what Baker does because there's a lot of pressure, I think, to being a Cleveland Browns quarterback. A lot of pressure to being to bring a team out of that type of a hole. What I was saying, in case you guys couldn't hear me, because I had myself muted, because you know, gotta love technology. I was saying that I was comparing this kind of to the Joe Flacco situation, where people are kind of like, why in the world do you trust this guy? Like he may not throw for 5,000 yards. He may not put up 50 touchdowns a year. But the guy, when I need him most, he's there. When I need a miracle in Denver, he's there.
savvy.
You know,
He was very savvy.
I mean, when you need it, he's there. He might have had a great defense behind him, but we didn't bring him in to throw for 5,000 yards. We brought him in to hand the football off to Ray Rice and throw the football deep when we needed it. And when we needed it, Torrey Smith making a big catch in the Steelers game. When we needed it, him putting the ball right on Lee Evans, which he dropped. When we needed it, he was there.
The Broncos game, the year they won the Super Bowl. Granted, terrible coverage by the Broncos, whatever though, but he had the right touch at the end of that game. That was another thing where I had the residual heat with him, just because it's like he is so good. Before he got hurt, he was so good, and that's the thing that kills me about fan bases, because again they get too much in the mind frame of everybody just needs to throw for 5,000 yards and this, that, and the other. It's like, no, you just want somebody efficient, somebody that makes plays, and that's the one thing, the one critique that Baker kept saying is that he's running the offense well, he's being efficient and all that stuff, but he needs to make that one play, pushing it down the field. And again, people can argue his arm strength. That little fucker has a cannon. I mean, I've seen it. The Steelers game last year, even though I don't know why Freddie had him do it back-to-back plays, from the 15, he upchucked that thing 80 yards before it hit the ground. Again, the dude's got a cannon. So, but even though he's still a little banged up, and I think that was apparent early on, but once he got into a little rhythm, but that's where, again, with Higgins, Harrison Bryant, that's becoming more and more the steal of the draft. I don't care what anybody says, but it's just a few plays here and there, then the confidence comes into play, and then you don't even think about that pain. The one thing, or I would say the second thing, is the Browns, you have a problem on defense. It was apparent throughout the years of our, because they give up so much yards, but this game in particular, highlighted that they did not force a punt all day. That's bad. Now, I take nothing away from Joe. Joe was sensational on Sunday. That 1 3rd and 11, and he runs a QB draw. But anyway, that was, say what you will about these teams, that was an entertaining game. You have one team that is in a rebuild. They think they have their quarterback of the future. They need to change their coaching staff. Zach Taylor is not the guy. I don't know if you saw this, DJ. Carlos Dunlap posted selling his house on Twitter later that night. And yes, I don't know if you saw that little scrum he had with the coach on the sideline. I said, he's done. He changed his name on Instagram to Employee 96.
I saw it. I saw him post his house for sale, which was hilarious.
Yes.
I saw that and I was like, whoa. At the same time, I was kind of like, you're literally like, I mean, this is a guy who stuck with this team through everything, like through the worst of the worst, and you're probably a year or so from turning it around, and now you want to go somewhere else. That kind of got me too, because I'm like, Joe Burrow is starting to really impressed me. Like I watched him in that game, and like he's composed. He's taking every hit in the book, but he's composed every time. Like he's back up every time, and I mean I don't know. I just like the kid. I just like the kid. He's a really good leader. I mean, I think he's already a captain as a rookie, which is ridiculous, right? Like,
it doesn't matter if it's the Bengals. Being the captain of a team as a rookie tells you what those other 52 guys think of you. That says a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I mean, I like Joe Burrow so far, and I think he's done, definitely done some really good things for the Bengals, even if they have been in losses. Like, I think he's given them a true, symbol of hope, and I think the next step is coaching. Because I mean, albeit Andy Dalton, what he's doing right now may not be great, but I'm gonna be more of an Andy Dalton guy than most people are, because I watched him play and carve us up a few times. I watched him carve us up and pull us out of the playoffs too. So I mean, I think the issue is coaching. I don't know if the issue's ever really been quarterback play. I think it's been more so coaching for them. I thought I loved Andy. And Andy put up the numbers, but I thought at the same time, I mean, it's got to be coaching, right? Has to be.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, the other thing too, there's a disconnect because the young guys seem to like Zach Taylor. It's the Marvin guys. Like, again, I don't know so much with AJ, but the AJ, Gino, the Dunlap, Giovanni, like I think those guys are the ones that are voicing their distrust and displeasure with Zach Taylor. Man, the thing before, it's just that when Marvin was there, and again, it wasn't necessarily coaching. It's just that maybe a little bit, goes along with that too. But they never made that one move from either side of the ball that would be, we are blank player away from going deep into the playoffs. Because Marvin was the model of consistency. Good coach. You're competing for the division every year, whatever, though. But after a while, it was like Dusty Baker with the Reds. You guys, like, you're staying relevant and this, that, and the other. But, like, guys, organizationally, like, who do we need to get? And Vontaze Burfict sure as hell wasn't the answer, because he single-handedly cost him that playoff game against the Steelers.
And that's why Adam, I say, it was
Jeremy Hill, hold on to the ball, don't fumble it at the 15.
That's why I say, that's why I say it was coaching, because it's not like you didn't have the talent. It's not like you weren't putting up the numbers. It's not like you weren't getting there every year. You just weren't finishing, which I think comes back to coaches, because after a while, and I say this about my Sixers too, after a while you got to stop playing like a young team, because after a while you're not a young team anymore. You don't have that excuse. You've been there before. So I mean, yeah, I think it was more of coaching. I feel like real quick, looking over to Justin right now, I don't think there's much to say about the Chiefs and their destruction of the Broncos. Let's just say I do not feel like the Broncos are the 1B to the Chiefs in that division. Possibly, it's probably the Chargers, because Justin Herbert, I mean, it's unfortunate how he took Tyrod Taylor's job, but he's kind of good.
Well, the Raiders. Well, I think it's the Raiders
And
who are
yeah,
just more
and
beat to
true,
us,
Justin. That's
in
spot
my
on.
opinion.
The Raiders are a very good team too.
Because
So
they have a win over us. But we're going to get them at the end of the year, though. We're going to beat them at the end of the year.
I feel like Casey disagrees, but
it's going to happen. No, but this game. I mean, we disagree with a lot of things, and he, Cheese Kingdom, baby, Cheese Kingdom.
Colts
we're going
too.
Nah. No, man, but we just smoked this Broncos team. I mean, it was kind of slow the first half, but until we got that one big return by Pringle, like we never looked back that whole game. And we had a couple interceptions that game. It's like our offense hasn't been doing like we haven't been, Patrick hasn't been doing what he, throwing for like 5,000 yards or something, throwing for a lot. He's just been doing what he needs to do. And our defense has been, I think we're playing a crappy Broncos team. So, I mean, that kind of helped out also. But, our defense stepped up this week. We looked a lot better. And we just, Drew Lock is terrible.
So, Drew Lock is not terrible, first off.
Drew Lock's terrible.
Second off, trust me, you'll see. These are second-year players. Hush your mouth. But secondly, how come when Patrick Mahomes has a bad game but they win, it's okay? But if Lamar Jackson has a bad game, oh my goodness, he's for grass. Get the heck out of my face! All the man does is win football games. Both of them. All they both do is win football games.
Because we got a ring over. He got the ring now. I mean, got them rings.
I'll give you that. You know what? You got that one off on me for now. For now. Adam, did you have something? You had something.
We'll see you guys in the playoffs, and we'll beat you guys in the playoffs.
No, he had mentioned that Mahomes is not being the world beater right now, but I think Andy Reid is not having the play calls for him. They're not asking him to do all that, all of his, Superman like. So I think they're taking the load off him a little bit more because this was the first game. And also,
last year when he got injured, when he hurt his leg, I got, oh man, dude, I was holding my breath. I got, oh man, hopefully this injury isn't serious. And I don't want him doing all this crazy stuff.
I don't think Andy is asking him to do all that, especially this game where it was that crappy out in Denver. I mean, granted, you're going to be having probably you might have to face those type of conditions when you're hosting a playoff game in January. But like that was, they didn't need for him to be Superman that game. Their defense was stout up front. Of getting to lock, whatever. Like I said, they are very opportunistic, and that's not a bad thing. Where come that third and short, or come that that manageable down, whatever. That whether getting pressure or causing a fumble or getting a pick, whatever. They are very precise when they take their shots to make a play on defense.
And also, Patrick thrives on these type of snow games. He loves snow games. That's what he said. I remember last year it was another snow game against the Broncos. It was back at Arrowhead. Like he was just like, that was a crazy game. Like they were all sliding around in the snow and all that. Oh man, but yeah, dude, we just smoked the Broncos though. Not much else to be said.
real quick, for a question for everybody. Do y'all think Dallas is done? Like, because the last couple weeks, I mean, their defense has been terrible since day one. But now you pair that with the fact that Dak's out and they really don't have a leader on offense. Because I felt like even though Dallas was playing bad with Dak, like they weren't playing their best football, they could turn around at any time because of Dak's poise and because they have all of that talent on offense. I mean, you got Zeke, you got CD, you got Amari Cooper and all this talent. Eventually you'll turn it around, but now it's like do you guys feel like they're gonna have to sign somebody, or you feel like it's just Andy Dalton getting used to playing again? Like, what could that be? Or it's quite possible that the Eagles are just the better team in this division, because I think it's and I said this last week. I was mentioning that if the Giants won this game against the Eagles, which they came really close, they could possibly win the division, because that puts the Cowboys are terrible. The Eagles are the
See,
next best
that's
team.
where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. It's the Washington football team. That's the team that's winning this division.
You really think the Washington football team
No, I'm just kidding.
and their incompetence are going to win the NFC East? Heck no.
No, but Casey's
look,
the one that's serious.
I'm sorry. I hate to say this, but the Giants will win the division before the Washington football team win it. Like,
Casey's the one that's serious, though.
Casey knows almost nothing at this point with that take. That's a hot take. That's a hot take, Casey. You're on these hot takes now? You're on the hot takes, Casey? Casey is the Skip Bayless of this show, okay? Like, that's what that is.
Oh, man.
Casey, just draw some wrinkles on your face and, just have this permanent look of, like, I'm just pissing myself.
But
the NFC East makes me lose so much brain cells just looking at this whole division. I mean, I don't even know what to think anymore.
Facts. Listen, have you paid attention to the NFC East? Literally anyone can win this. Anyone.
That's why I'm losing so much brain cells, because I go like, I don't even know. I don't know who's going to win at this point. Like, it's bad. It's really bad.
It's got to be. It's the Eagles. I mean, I've literally watched Carson Wentz go like this and score touchdowns. I've seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the Eagles.
But at the same time, and I've told Eagles fans this, you are the best team in the worst division. That says nothing about you. I'm sorry.
It's like being the most popular kid in summer school.
Exactly.
It will get you a playoff spot, though. And they did make that 7th spot for Dallas, who won't get it. But they did make that 7th spot. They did.
I will say this. with the trade deadline coming up, to me, one of two things has to happen. Dallas needs to make a phone call to the New England Patriots and get Cam.
You know, there's a certain passing leader from a year ago that's just out there as a backup in New Orleans.
Jameis.
Hey, Curtis Painter is not a backup.
But the other thing too is, I honestly, because I don't know if you've heard the soundbite of Jerry Jones's press conference or Zoom call earlier, where he got real pissy. Where, like, I think he honestly, and that's the frustrating thing with Jerry, is that I don't think he thinks this team is done with what they have. I don't know. Mike McCarthy may not make it to the end of the year at this rate. If they dumped him now, and again get Cam, or make some organizational move at their D coordinator position, because I mean, you have Emerson Griffin,
you know what the issue is, though, right? The issue is that they signed Andy Dalton thinking he was going to be the starter anyway. So now they're like, oh, no, we really messed up. Because now Andy Dalton doesn't look like he's going to be the starter.
Well, because the ginger ways show, because after that hit to the head, he doesn't have a soul now. I think they should be called now the Washington Headhunters. Because that play was bullshit. I will say that play was utter bullshit.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Somebody's going to win this division with 6 wins. I'm calling that right now. 6 wins is winning this division.
It's got to be the Eagles, right? It's like I don't
But
see any.
they just lost Zach Ertz for again 3 to 4 weeks. Lane Johnson is hurt. That is big. I know their O line veteran like whatever though, but that's a solid. They're good. Lane Johnson is a big loss, and I mean we've got them a few weeks. I haven't looked at their out of divisional games around the division, up into the division, but Twins, it's Googleable. Look it up. It's Googleable. But yeah, I mean, really, at this point, by default, it's the Eagles, and again, it's so sad because, like Justin said, this makes me lose IQ points watching this. Nobody deserved to win that Thursday night game. And by the way, Ingram, Danny, I will give Danny Dimes this. That pass to Ingram was fabulous. And Ingram said, nah, I think the turf deserves it.
And then you know what's hard? You know what's hard about me saying that the Eagles will win? Is looking at the Eagles being down 21-10 to the Giants. Like, I don't like. That's why it's so hard. That's why it's like the Eagles look like the best team, even when they look like the worst team. But like, to me, Washington's terrible. Like, Washington is horrible. Like, they're the bottom feeders of this division. I think the Giants are better than Washington. But at the same time, I don't really see the Giants competing. But it's so hard. Casey, Washington is terrible. Like, Washington is like the Jaguars of the NFC East. They're horrible. Like, they're horrible. They benched Dwayne Haskins too early. If you're gonna be in a terrible division, at least play your freaking top pick quarterback. They're idiots. Like, they're so
See what
dumb.
you have.
I mean, they're so dumb. The organization is so dumb. And I like Washington. I freaking live 4 hours away from them.
Yeah.
I like them, but they're...
After that, I love Washington. They suck. They're the worst team ever. They're terrible, but I love them. Shut up.
I mean, I have to watch the Texans be terrible too. I love them too, but I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, the Texans. No, the Texans aren't doing anything either. I mean, but anyway, should we get into Week 8? Is that enough Week 7 discussion? Enough Week 7 discussion?
Just one quick thought, real quick. Are the Buffalo Bills a mirage?
That's hard. I don't think they're a mirage. I think they just had a rough couple of weeks. I mean, I think they just had a rough couple of weeks.
They kicked 6 field goals against the Jets. They won, but how was that not? How are they still not scoring?
It's a trap game. So I got.
We had to cover the spread. Oh, anyway.
It's a trap game, but anyway. Let's jump into the Ravens Steelers preview, and the image below is how I hope the game goes. With Lamar Jackson running away from Steelers defenders. But nonetheless, I'm so excited for this game. I really am. I love Ravens Steelers week. It's usually always a good game. There hasn't been many blowouts in the history of it, but I hope this is one of them. I just want it to be one of them. I am a little surprised though that they haven't flexed this game into a primetime game, but because we play on Thanksgiving, that's probably why they didn't. Because we play on Thanksgiving as well for the Thursday night game, so that's probably why they didn't. Because Dallas is playing in the Sunday night game, and I'm like, but why don't? Because this is Lamar's first chance to go against Ben. Lamar has not went against Ben in his career because Ben has been hurt. And Lamar's rookie year, Joe played both of those games, so he didn't get to play. I mean, he was on the roster, but he didn't actually start the game. So it'll be interesting though. I'm excited though because it's fun playing the Steelers when they're down, but like it's not as fun to beat them when they're down. because you get the bragging rights, but you don't get as much. And this is by far my favorite, my favorite rivalry in the NFL. I think it's the best personally. I think it's the best personally. I mean, a lot of people think it's the Giants and the Cowboys and the Eagles and the Cowboys and no,
Not anymore.
it's this one. It's this one. This one's consistent every year, isn't it? Like for the most part, it's pretty consistent, and I think even the split with wins is like almost they're almost like mirror images of each other. But I love it. I'm excited for the Ravens to win this game. Just play your game. Just play your game. Do not come out here trying to be pretty. Do not come out here trying to throw the ball 50 times. Just play your game. No, like I really feel this way, and it's not me being some sort of cocky fan. It's me actually watching the games and looking into the stats. But if you play your game, nobody can beat you. Play your freaking game. Nobody runs the football like the Ravens do. I hope they get Gus involved. I really want Gus to be involved. I think Mark Ingram's not playing this week. I think he's hurt. So that's going to be good because Mark Ingram and Gus, I think, not Mark Ingram and Gus, but JK and Gus, letting them kind of feed off each other, I think is going to be a really good thing. I'm excited. It's going to be a really good game. I'm really excited about this game. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a good 1:00 game. We always typically get a 1:00 game for Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and this will be the one. And I'm definitely excited. The defense I think will play well. It could be a defensive battle, but I hope the offense gets going. I want to see Dez in this game. I obviously think he will be on the roster in some form or fashion by Sunday. So that'll be good. I hope Unique gets a sack, to welcome into Baltimore. That would be nice. But I'm excited though. I am very excited for this game. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'll hold off on my prediction. I think everybody knows where I'm going to go, but I'll hold off for now, and I'll kick to Casey first and see what he thinks about Ravens Steelers week.
I was just waiting.
Y'all terrible. Danny is better than Phillip Rivers. I'm gonna say it. Okay, maybe not. He's better than Phillip.
People have no idea what we're laughing about. It's great.
Y'all just terrible. Y'all terrible.
I'm gonna be even more terrible because Steelers going 7-0. They on a roll. They going 7-0. I don't think the Ravens can stop them. I mean, maybe if Danny Dimes was on the team, but
just
or his girlfriend.
I mean, maybe they can get Dak this week. I don't know.
I'm actually going to agree with Casey here. Give me the Steelers.
Listen, all I'm saying is Cena would have been back by now.
No, I'm gonna go with Baltimore. If the Ravens, like you said, if the Ravens run the ball, use your tandem, and that includes Lamar. If you use your tandem, I don't believe that their front can stop Lamar. Whether it's him evading the pocket, whatever. And get J.K. Dobbins involved, please.
I mean, I personally think that the Steelers are not as good as we think they are. Like, yes, they're undefeated, but who have they played to impress me besides the Titans? That's about it. That's the only impressive win they have for me, and they almost coughed that one up. So, I think the Ravens will continue to own the AFC.
No, this is where you pick outside your division, around your division, back in, betwixt, and that's where you look it up on Googleable.
True. But I'm gonna pick the Ravens, of course. I think it's gonna be good. Literally like the flip of a coin type of a game because you never know how it's gonna go. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this one, and I'm going with the Ravens. Lamar gets his first win against the Steelers, please, because I cannot stand to hear the Steelers for one more week about being undefeated. We're the only undefeated team in the AFC.
And they need that letdown game.
Exactly. Let's kick it to the Colts Lions game, possibly. The Colts and the Lions. I mean, I don't trust the Lions at all. I mean, there's a lot of teams I trust in the NFL. The Lions ain't one of them. They somehow came up with a win last week. But I do not trust the Colts. Nor do I know. I trust the Colts. I do not trust the Lions. I mean, so I'm gonna go with the Colts because I mean the Lions aren't a good team. They just not. And I mean I guess you're lucky, Casey, that y'all ain't playing nobody this week, so I can say that. But all right, let's go to Adam.
Yeah. What?
I'm gonna go with the Colts, and I like Matt Stafford a lot, but I don't think they have the firepower to stop that D line for the Colts. So, but yeah, Phillip Rivers gets it done.
Justin?
Yeah, chalk it up a win for the Colts here.
All right, Casey, go ahead and pick the Lions.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. What are you talking about? We get a second bye week. This is our second bye week. I don't know what you. I'll admit I was rooting for the Lions last week, and they barely squeezed out a win. Barely. They did, but it was close. But they're not going to win this week. No. Sorry. I mean, they're still better than the Jets, but that's not saying much. I'm sorry, Jets.
They are who we thought they were.
Speaking of the Jets.
Speaking of the Jets play the Chiefs.
Oh, man.
The Jets play the Chiefs, and it's a sad day. This gonna be a blowout. I don't know.
No, wait. This is our bye week. Also, this is our bye week.
I don't know.
We get 2 bye weeks also.
I don't know how in the world the Jets can win this game. I'm gonna think about it and try to pick the Jets. Let's go to Casey first.
Well, we got the 0-7 Jets. I don't know if y'all heard me correctly. 0-7. They have 0 wins and 7 losses. Just make sure that's all cleared up. Make sure you understand that they have 7 losses in a row versus the Chiefs, who have 6 wins in a row. Well, not in a row. I don't remember when they lost. Did they? Whatever. They have one L. So by that logic, I think we can deduce that. I think we're going with an upset. With the Jets. I'm kidding, guys. Calm down. It's not that serious. I'm sorry. Is anyone going with the Jets, though? Come on.
Yeah. This is kind of one we probably can gloss over, right?
Next.
Le'Veon Bell is gonna go off this week.
Yeah, if you don't think he's gonna shatter a rushing record against his old team, she is.
Oh man.
I don't think Adam has much to say about this game because I think we all have agreed that the Chiefs are going to win this game. So, Justin.
I'm still putting them on upset alert, though.
Chiquita, baby, Chiquita.
Justin, it's on you.
Oh, I just told you. Chiquita, baby.
Wow, that's expert analysis by Justin.
I mean, there's nothing else to be said. There's nothing else to be said. Playing a
What's the
crappy
weather
Jets
like out,
team.
Lou? Cold. Back to you.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
raining.
Can we get to a more exciting game? Yes, we can. The Browns and the Raiders. This right here, like I had to do some other picks for money, and I was like, which one? Which one? Because this one's gonna be good. This is gonna be a good one. I'm excited for this one too. The Browns versus the Raiders. This is a hard one, Adam. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The fan in me wants to go with the Raiders because the Browns got to stop playing so well. But I don't know. The Browns and Baker, no Odell. It's weird. He plays so well without Odell for some crazy reason. He's out of his mind. I'm going with the Raiders. I'm gonna sneak up and go with the Raiders simply because is it the weakness of the Browns' run defense? If I'm not mistaken, could be wrong.
Their their weakness is their not so much the linebacking core. It's the safeties and their pass defense. It's their real weakness is there in D line. And I know that sounds weird, but again, the amount of attention that Miles gets, nobody, not Larry, not Olivier, not Claiborne, nobody's getting home. So as much as Miles wrecks games, like nobody else is stepping up. But which is why I hope. Great, it won't be for another couple of weeks. I hope they get somebody in the in a free agency before the deadline.
Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders. I think Derek Carr has been very consistent this year, which I'm excited about because I've been very hard on him in the past. I really have been very critical of Derek Carr, but I think he's played well this year. I think he has done some really good things and really helped out with the consistency aspect, especially considering people were calling for his job before this year began and thought that John Gruden was going to go away from him. So with the way they're playing, I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. They did beat the Chiefs, so they're obviously the best team in that. What? What was that? That slipped out. That slipped out. That slipped out. Raiders win the division there. I think they do. But anyway, Casey, Raiders or Browns? I know this is a hard one for you. I might have to wait and come back because I mean, this one right here, this almost like Tampa Bay and the Raiders. Like this a tough one.
Yeah, give me. Who has to go still? Who hasn't picked? Just Justin.
Justin.
Go. I gotta think about it. Gotta think about it in my head.
Oh, let's think here. Okay, so we, the fan of me wants to go with Browns here. I want to go with the Browns, but I'm actually gonna pick the Raiders this week. What? I'm picking the Raiders to win here.
He doesn't trust the Browns. Casey.
Raiderade, baby. Raiderade. It's delicious. And it's nutritious.
He did all that to say Raiderade. Adam, it's on you.
You could take that nutritious shit and shove it up your ass. But this is going to be a giant test for the Browns defense. And again, if there was a game for the defense as a collective whole to step up, it is this game. The one thing the Browns offense can feast on the Raiders defense. They give up a lot of points. So you can score on them. I need, as I said, somebody from other than the D line, Olivier, Larry, Porter Gustin, Claiborne, Sheldon, somebody. When Miles gets that much attention, somebody's got to get home. Linebacking core is getting a little better. Ronnie Harrison in the free safety position or in strong safety is very very solid. I don't want to see him get off the field, but the thing is, when you force a third down, get off the field. Get off the field because Carr can go off. And Carr has been very, very solid this year. But yes, I'm gonna be a homer because the other thing too, it's at home, and knock on wood, the Browns have been phenomenal this year at First Energy Stadium. So going Cleveland.
All right. We're gonna run through these picks, the rest of the games at least. And I mean, we'll be relatively quick, I guess. I guess we'll see how it goes. Falcons and the Panthers. Not too tough a one. I mean, especially with the Falcons being involved, because I mean the Falcons are who we thought they were. So, they do a lot of things that they probably shouldn't do, like blow leads. And I just don't think they're that good. Like, I do not like the Falcons. I do not buy stock in the Falcons. Uh, and the Panthers are weird. Like, the Panthers are weirdly inconsistent. Like, it's so odd. Like, I expected them to be a little more inconsistent with Teddy Bridgewater, and the way Mike Davis has been playing. But yeah, I'm going with the. I'm still gonna go with the Panthers here, though. I just don't think the Falcons are any good, which is crazy with the amount of talent they have. It's honestly ridiculous. Like it's bad. Like it's really bad how terrible they are. So Panthers. Does anybody want to pick the Falcons? Like, I mean, before we go around and do this thing, because oh man,
I picked the refs.
Yeah.
Double disqualification.
Yeah. Let's jump to the Vikings and the Packers. This should be a pretty good one if the right Vikings team shows up. It should be a pretty good one. The Vikings and the Packers. I'm excited about this one. I think it should be a pretty good one, but I think the Packers win pretty easily. I don't think it's going to be a too difficult of a game for the Packers, but I think the Vikings will give them a little bit of a game. I just think the Packers are too good at this point for the Vikings to beat them right now, especially at home, especially in Lambeau. And it's getting a little cold, and Lambeau when it gets cold is a little rough. So I'm going with the Packers. Case.
What was the game?
It's Vikings Packers.
Sorry, I was distracted with oh man, I really want to go for the Vikings. I really do, but I gotta go with the Packers. I want to go with the Vikings, but I don't know if I can trust them. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, Justin.
I mean, the Packers could win, okay? I just need Dalvin Cook to go off. I need him to run for a lot of yards. I just need him to do good. So Packers win, but Dalvin Cook, you need to play good. That's all.
All right, Adam, it's on you.
Is Dalvin even playing? Because I know he got hurt.
He's question. Well, they said that he's going to be able to come back after the bye week. He's still questionable, so hopefully he's playing. I hope so, but we'll see.
Well, no, I'm going Packers too. The one thing for the Vikings' sake is they have to be competitive this game because I think Mike Zimmer is itching close to being in the hot seat because they were projected to either win this division or make a deep run into the playoffs this year, and they are just not performing. But yeah, that Lambeau, it's after what happened in Tampa Bay. Yeah, this is, and they just took it out on the Texans, and I think that continues. Packers.
All right. Rams and the Dolphins. Tua's debut game. Pretty excited about that. That should be pretty good. this was a tough one just because, given the circumstances, you expect the Rams to be okay or at least pretty good. But given some of their inconsistencies lately, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I think Tua is gonna prove some things in his debut. I think they're gonna try to build this offense around him as they should. Uh, and I think they finally have a quarterback they can believe in, which is nice. Because it's ironic that all those fans that were calling for Ryan Tannehill's head are seeing him flourish now in Tennessee. So that's very interesting because I've always been a big Ryan Tannehill guy. So hopefully they can put some trust into it and he can lead them to a good spot. Unfortunate how they did Ryan Fitzpatrick though. Like, did y'all see what Ryan Fitzpatrick said after he realized that they had pulled him? That was sad, especially how excited he was to see Tua get his chance, and all Ryan Fitzpatrick did was blow out the team they were playing. So like, so why you gotta bench my man? I'm just saying. But anyway, still exciting to see Tua get his debut. I think we all knew it was coming at some point, just didn't know when. Dolphins win this game. Casey.
The Fins keep the win.
Justin.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here. Yeah, I just feel like they're coming off a good momentum after these last couple weeks and off their bye week, and I feel like since Tua's he's been getting practice with the the first reps stuff. I feel like give the Dolphins a win here. I feel like they have a chance of winning this division. They do. They really do.
Well, I
give
mean,
the Dolphins.
The way it's going with the Patriots right now, and of course the Bills have entered a little bit of a skid too. So, I mean, it could be possible, Adam.
As much as I'm going to be pulling for Tua, this game, I hope he does well. But I mean, you are going into a little bit of a buzzsaw going against that Rams. Could feast a little bit on Tua, so I'm gonna go with the Rams. And I mean, if Tua wins, the Dolphins win, great, whatever. Though, but I think it's a tall ask, going against Sean McVay and company. But yeah, I'll go with the Rams.
The Rammy Hammies.
I even thought about it, and I'm like, nope, can't do it. We got to blow through these picks, and you had to bring it up. Give me the Pringle.
Terrible. The Titans going up against the Bengals. This should be a pretty good one, especially how the Bengals are starting to, improving every single week. But I mean, it's hard. It's hard because on one hand, I want to say the Titans are good, but to see them play probably one of the better teams that they played so far this year and play that badly. I mean, they did come back. Shouts out to them for coming back, but it just felt like I don't know, like this Titans team is weird. I think they're good, but at the same time, I have trouble believing in them, and I still wonder how long they're gonna stick with Gustowski, especially if he keeps missing field goals and missing big field goals. He's a legend, of course, in the league, but at the same time, when you're missing field goals and it's costing your team games, you don't get as long of a leash to kind of play with anymore. So I'm gonna go with the Titans, but I think this one really could go either way. Although the Bengals are 1-5-1, so I think the Titans win. Casey.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Titans. I just don't know if I can trust the Bengals to pull it out.
All right, Justin.
Yeah, give me the Titans here.
And Adam.
They're gonna beat the Pringles.
Had to sneak it in. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tennessee Super Saiyans. Since he, has gotten better each week. Whatever, they're just depleted in so many areas, and plus you're going against Derrick Henry. The Bengals are terrible at stopping the run. They're like 27th, 28th, whatever. So I mean, this could be. There's not going to be a complicated game plan in this juncture. This Tannehill have your couple of big throws and just give it to a raccoon tail in the backfield. So yeah, Titans huge.
Patriots going up against the Bills. This one's tough because, like we said before, both of them are going through some tough times, and I think the Patriots have back-to-back losses and the Bills have back-to-back losses, if I'm not mistaken. This is kind of for NFC, not NFC, but AFC East supremacy here, and I think the Patriots bounce back. When is the last time that the Bills beat the Patriots? What did they beat them last year? I can't remember right offhand, but it has been a while since they've beaten them, and I think it's gonna be a little bit of too much pressure early in the season for the Bills, so I'm gonna go with the Patriots on this one. Casey.
First of all, what happened to your boy Cammy Cam?
I mean, he's just struggling a little bit. That's about it. I mean, he looks a little bit like that Phillip Rivers fella. He looks a little bit what?
Just less kids.
I don't know about that.
He just taking notes. Yeah, minus what, like 6 kids probably.
9.
I mean, I don't know about that. We have more wins, so I'm just saying, not much, but we still have more wins. Anyway, I'm actually gonna give this to the Bills. I think out of any season, this is the season they could beat the Patriots, and I think I mentioned this in the chat or to Adam in one of our discussions. I love how the fact that being older, I remember back before Tom Brady when the Patriots were the drizzling shits. I remember this, and they are slowly gonna go back to that. And a lot of these fans that are like in their late teens, early 20s, they don't remember that. They only remember the Patriots being the dominant team in the NFL. And I love it. I love the fact that they are going to get a little bit of taste of what other teams have had to deal with. But yeah, I'm going to give it to the Bills. I think they could possibly pull it out.
All right, Justin.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with DJ here. I think that the Patriots are gonna bounce back after these couple losses that they had here, especially last week. That was bad last week against the Niners. That was, I don't know what's wrong with Cam right now. I mean, boy, it was bad, BADD, bad. Oh man, but yeah, I'm going with the Patriots here.
Good luck upstaging that, Adam.
Not even going to attempt. But yeah, ever since Cam came back from his positive COVID test, he has not looked right, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or he just feasted on people getting their legs underneath them at the beginning of the season, because we already knew that his physical skills are diminishing because he's older and he's got shoulder injury, ankle injury, etc. But I mean, he just was god awful in that Niners game. I mean, and I believe believe I was the only one that picked the Niners to win that game, by the way. But, especially, the Patriots are supposed to have that great defense, and they just kept getting gashed on those little swing passes to the outside. But much like anything else, you're going to keep running that until they stop it, and they just weren't. And I don't know, like the Bills having a chance to feast on Jared Stidham, yeah, give me the Bills. And as Chris Bergman says, nobody circles the wagons quite like the Buffalo Bills. I did the swabby.
Oh, this man.
And by the way, quarterbacks are entitled to have bad games. I know we do live in this era of the NFL where quarterbacks are not entitled to have bad games at all. Baker has a bad game. Pull him. He's not a number 1 overall pick. He had a bad game. He had one bad game. Phillip Rivers has one bad game. He's too old. Tom Brady has one bad game. He's too old. Aaron Rodgers, they drafted his predecessor. Lamar Jackson, he can't throw. So, like, Patrick Mahomes, sorry. Oh, yeah, forgot. But, yeah.
Just every time you hear Patrick Mahomes had a bad game, close your eyes.
Tom Brady had a bad game. Pay more to the refs.
But yeah, like I feel like sometimes we forget like quarterbacks are entitled to have bad games. Like sometimes we often forget like it's okay. They're human too. They're gonna be a little off every once in a while. But to the next game, which I don't know if it's a bad game or not. Chargers, Broncos. Go Chargers! Go! I think the Chargers are the better team here. Casey.
What was that thing that Arnold said? Go Chargers, go!
Can we get 3 Go Chargers goals? Justin.
I mean, I wish I could not watch this. I mean, well, I'm not going to watch this game, but I wish I didn't have to pick this game because I want the refs to win here. I'm picking the refs. The refs are going to... No, actually, I'm picking a tie. It's going to be a tie. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a tie right here. Yep.
Adam.
Believe it or not, for the first time, I'm actually going to pick Drew Lock. No! Go, Chargers, go!
I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a tie. It's going to happen.
Oh, goodness. I have 0 words. 0. Absolutely none right now with these people. The Saints and the Bears.
What do you mean, these people?
These people.
Yeah, what you trying to say?
The Saints and the Bears. This one's a tough one too, because the Bears are the resident frauds of the NFL. I'm
yes, sir.
Firm believer in the Bears being absolute frauds. I don't think they're good. And it's funny because like. And once again, quarterbacks are entitled to have bad games. But I just don't trust Nick Foles. I cannot trust Nick Foles. He is the most untrustworthy Super Bowl winning quarterback besides Trent Dilfer. Sorry, Trent. That I have seen. I don't trust him. So with that being said, I think the Saints win this game. Maybe. I don't know. Casey.
Sorry. Anyway, Saints.
Justin.
How many quarterbacks have the Bears went through, like, as of recent?
Probably less than the Jets.
I think I was watching something today. I was watching Fox Sports. I was watching
I was not ready for that.
I was watching Colin Hurd. He said they went through like 20-something quarterbacks as of I don't know how far back this went. But yeah, I don't trust Nick Foles, like DJ said. So I'm gonna go with the Saints. Saints are winning here. And yeah, the Bears are big pretenders. They're big pretenders. So yeah.
Adam.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints over the frauds.
The
And
frauds.
you just mentioned you just mentioned Trent Dilfer. He said that, and I hate to bring it back to my team, but Baker thinks that he's a playmaker, and he's just not. So after Sunday, take that and cram that up your ass, you bald fuck. Yes, I wish I had an opinion.
Speaking of, real quick, back to the Patriots. Jeff Garcia criticized Cam based off of what he was wearing in an outfit that actually was a good outfit. It was a very nice outfit. Like, it wasn't like typical wild Cam in a dress or something. Like, it was a really nice looking fall outfit. And this man, really?
I want him to stop wearing these outfits like that. This is not what a leader does.
Oh, moving on to what's probably America's game of the week, the 49ers and the Seahawks. I just don't believe in the 49ers like I felt like I believed in them last year. And the Seahawks even had their chances to win last week against Kyler and the Cardinals. So, I'm going to continue to ride with the Seahawks and say the Seahawks win this game. Not Casey. That's what your name says. So.
I don't know why it says that. I don't remember why it says that, but it says that.
That's right. That's right. It's Chase. That's why he said that. Okay.
Anyway,
it's Cassie.
I hate all of you. I hate you all. Anyway, I have to go with the 49ers on principle that I will never choose the Seahawks ever. It just won't. I won't. It could literally be the Seahawks versus the Seahawks, and I wouldn't pick the Seahawks. I just won't. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I just will never pick the Seahawks.
Why?
God, I was just...
I don't want to do it.
Hey, Maria.
Justin.
I hate for going on people's names. You have to go with my name down here. You have to call me by it, or else I'm not responding.
McJuggernuggets, it's on you.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. What's that?
Juggernaut. Will you pick? Come on, Juggernaut.
Oh man, I hate all y'all.
That's my line, asshole.
Hey, we take things off people here. I'm going. What's that?
We have another thing to do after this. Can we hurry it up?
Oh yeah, true. It's late. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Adam.
Seahawks.
All right, Cowboys, 49ers. Cowboys, Eagles, I should say. Eagles. Because the Cowboys defense is so bad. Does anybody want to go with the Cowboys, I guess, as they're playing like they're playing?
I'm picking the bye.
Anybody? Cowboys going once. Cowboys going twice. Nobody. All right.
Cowboy.
Goodness. Next, we have the Buccaneers going up against the Giants. Besides me, does anybody want to go with the Giants? Giants upset the
Why are
Buccaneers?
you going with the Giants?
Because I think they're going to upset the Buccaneers. No, I'm going with the Buccaneers.
Cause it's Danny Dimes, Danny Pennies.
Hey, you had to sit through Matt Castle. I don't want to hear it.
Can you please do that again?
Danny Dimes.
Is that how he looks like falling down? I'm Danny Dimes. I'm picking Danny to have an 85-yard run this time before he falls.
All right, I'm assuming everybody's going with the Buccaneers.
Danny Pennies.
So, with that being said, I think that'll do it for our picks. We got definitely some other things coming up for you guys very, very soon. Of course, we're going to do our Hell in a Cell review, which actually I think our Hell in a Cell review will go up before this video actually does. But nonetheless, Hell in a Cell review, we're going to probably make it pretty short and just kind of discuss some of the bigger moments that we felt like were big moments. Going to bring the ways to watch / listen, easy for me to say, to us. Of course, if you are watching on Facebook, you can watch this also on YouTube or listen on various other platforms that you can see below. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. For Adam, McJuggernuggets, Not Casey, and DJ-ICW podcast. We'll see you guys on the next one. I should say Mr. Sigi is what I should say. But anyway, did I mispronounce it? Segi. It's a difficult name, okay? It's a difficult name. But anyway.
This is fact.
So give me a pass next time. I got it. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys on the next one, whatever the next one may be. We'll see you guys on that one. Peace.